Welcome back. So the football is over and the Swedes are reflecting on the success of Euro 92, the most lucrative European football championship ever. But what lessons can be learned by England, the host nation of Euro 96? Here's our Gabriel Clark.
2.5 weeks ago, the 10th European Championship opened up with the usual razzmatazz, but also a fair share of opening night nerves. UEFA had picked Sweden. The big question was whether a small footballing nation could do justice to Europe's greatest competition. It's all over now at the Ullevi Stadium in Gothenburg. They're getting ready for the arrival of Phil Collins and Genesis. Next stop for the European Championship, England, in 4 years' time. And the general consensus is we've got a tough act to follow.
I have to say myself, after having checked with the media, with the participating teams, with the public, and with everybody concerned, that so far we have had no major complaints. I can state that we did it. We proved that we were able.
England will vouch for that. Glenn Curtin, the director of Euro 96, has spent the last 3 weeks as an official guest of UEFA making notes. He's had to make a few explanations as well about the behaviour of some England fans in Malmo. The good news is those confrontations with the police haven't changed things for 96.
It's clearly something that means that we have to stay on our toes. It's not totally behind us. We carry on taking the steps that we have taken. We feel that with the support of the police, with the support of the government, we have got no major crisis for 96.
And in general, the spirit on and off the field in Sweden has been excellent. And there certainly won't be any complaints if England can match the box office success of this tournament. Euro 92 was watched by 4 billion people worldwide, and in the space of 3 weeks, helped by some superb summer weather, the Swedish tourist industry took an amazing £40 million. That'll do very nicely in 96.
They've made the very best of the facilities that they've got at their disposal. They projected it on the small is beautiful basis. I think we want to project it on the a bit bigger is just as beautiful.
Marks out of 10 for Sweden and Euro 92?
Totally mean, from the organizational point, from every point of view, well, I give them 9.
That's not bad.
No, it's quite good.
Right, well, the big two have been here for the 3 weeks. Would you give it 9 out of 10, Ron?
Yes, I think so. They've been a very much a friendly games. Not the same sort of intensity of, say, Italia 90 or Mexico and places like that. And I think that's possibly the Swedes' nature. They've gone out of the way to try and make everybody feel at home. And by and large, it's been pleasant's a good way of describing the tournament.
Jack?
Apart from the cost of the beer.
That's where they got the 40 million.
That's where they got a lump of mine as well, Andy's, and yours, Andy's.
So he didn't get any of his.
Actually, did you buy a round then?
I did.
Did you?
I did. I gave somebody 500 once, and he came back with about 4.
Did he?
And he said, "Sorry, Jack, that's 50 quid."
The one thing that,
well,
that
96,
obviously the
it?
bad thing about the tournament was the English fans' behaviour. The only blot, I think, on the whole tournament, to be fair. Now, we're going into 96 in England. Will people be frightened, do you think, to come over with the reputation of England fans?
Well, it's what we do between now and then, isn't it? We have, as Glenn Curtin said, improved that side of it. We're still not nowhere near good enough, and we saw that down in Malmo. Although I think our police, because they probably have more experience of it, will deal better than the Swedish police.
Well, that's an interesting point, because Saint and I met the observer for the British police over here. In fact, we bought the drinks that night,
we did,
yes. Saint? And he said that he didn't feel that there was too much of a problem here, and nothing that the English police couldn't handle.
What about when the police, the army, they need everybody. I think it can be bad.
You think so?
I think it can be bad. I mean, it's I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Do you not think we've got to try? I mean, that has been done. There's been a healthy improvement, I think, in the last 4 years. I understand what you're saying, Jack. Right. We got nutcases in anything, but I think if they can maintain the threat of saying, all right, we're not going to get major tournaments if the fans misbehave. So that gives them,
something to go for, a bit of incentive and put on trust in this.
One thing that did happen out here, particularly in Stockholm, was I thought the English fans were actually treated very badly. There was a group of them, about 500 of them, Jim, and they put them in a tent on a gravel pit some 30 miles out of town, and they were treated, to be fair, they were treated like cattle.
In that case, they'll feel at home for the next one.
Okay.
Didn't help at all.
Right.
No, fair enough.
OK, lads, well, the football's over, but there's still plenty of top-quality sport on ITV this weekend. At 2:45 this afternoon, there's live coverage of the Olympic trials from the Alexander Stadium, Birmingham, which continues on Sunday at 4 o'clock, in a programme that also includes international rugby and New Zealand 15 against England B. And tonight at 9:10, live from Portugal, you can see Chris Eubank defend his WBO super middleweight title against American Ron Essett. Here's Gary Newborn.
The Portuguese playground of Quinta do Lago, an impressive holiday complex of carved-out golf courses, expensive hotels and villas. Tonight, a golf course car park is the unlikely setting as Portugal stages its first ever world title fight. It's aimed at attracting the British holidaymakers in this area. A treat in the heat is how promoter Barry Hearn describes this WBO Super Middleweight Championship between Brighton's Chris Eubank and the challenger Ron Essett of Florida. Essett is a durable, smart boxer, but he's about the only person in town who doesn't believe that he'll become Eubank's latest victim.
You've met a lot of British people on holiday over here. What do they tell you about Eubank? Who do they want to win?
Nobody likes him. Nobody likes Chris Eubank, sir. But, you know, as I've told a lot of them, maybe his confidence and arrogance is what has catapulted him to this level. You know, I respect the guy.
Assuming you win on Saturday, what happens then? Because the WBO say you have to make, if you are going to stay with this title, the WBO Super Middleweight Championship of the World, you have to make a mandatory defence against Nigel Benn.
That fight won't take place. As far as I'm concerned, I've stated, it's on record, that I will relinquish. Preferably on the 10th of July. On the 9th of July, I have the Queen's Garden party to attend, and I want to attend as a world champion, not as an ex-world champion. And on that date, on the 10th of July, I shall relinquish.
Well, I hope he doesn't knock him out too quickly, because we hope to be back in time for that. Yeah. Now, listen, Jim, you weren't there, but we had lots of fun up in Gothenburg. It was marvellous. I just wish you had been there, because I had my ups and downs.
Did you?
Well, Greavsie, you know, since we started these programmes from Sweden, we talked about, can we find somebody mad enough to do the bungee jump? Up to now, of course, we haven't. But seeing it's the last programme, I've decided there's only one thing for it. I'm going to do it myself. I'll see you Saturday, pal. I don't believe I'm going to do it.
It's no problem.
Yeah, I'm going to do it now. I'm up here, aren't I?
Yeah. You got 8 million people to watch you.
8 million people saying he's a nutcase.
You lift your left leg, so you get the strap between your legs. Great.
Is that it?
And push hard now. I want
Yeah.
down from where you want to go, and you push and go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, I nearly made the river. I never knew I was that close to the river. Well, yeah, Greavsie. Scotland the brave.
Nearly Scotland the grave, that, wasn't it?
Were you impressed with me, man?
I'm very impressed with that, Saint. Very impressed.
Even now, looking at that, that's the first time I've seen it. I can't believe I actually did it.
You did extremely well.
I'll tell you, I've got to say, my bottle had gone about 3/4 way up. But when I turned round there and the guy said, just push off, you know, give it a good push and a leap out, I thought, I've just got to do it now, you know. I gave it the old Superman bit.
You did, didn't you? That's brilliant. I've got to hand it to you. You'll do anything for a new contract.
I'll tell you the funny thing. Kelly was there from the FA, you know. Graham Kelly was there. And he walked up as I'm getting ready. I said, you see what happened? I said, the fact that we've got no football, I've got to do this for a living. So you even got a laugh out of him,
It's
didn't
a pity Graham Kelly didn't do it.
Yeah.
Had a pair of scissors there. But well done, mate. Well done.
Thank you, Jim.
Proud of you.
But then the boys didn't fancy it either when they were up there in Gothenburg. Big Ron, I don't know if we'd have strong enough.
We said we'd ever go at it.
What?
No, we said we'd ever go at it, but somebody said you were always going over the top anyway. So
I'll tell you what would have been handy if somebody had kicked the ball up from the side. Did you jump off and have a header at it? That would have been quite interesting.
How far was you from the
90 metres.
From the lake?
Oh, when at the finish?
Yeah.
Almost only been about, the boys say about 15 feet or something.
15 feet. Oh, Big Jack would have caught you with the rod.
We were saying that Big Jack had been there like fishing.
When I got back and they told me that he had done it, I could not believe it.
Yeah.
I just could not believe it. And they've hidden it from you, Jim, until this programme.
Yeah. Really? Because they thought, well, you'll not believe it either.
Because you wouldn't believe it either.
Well, I wouldn't believe it. I mean, knowing a Scot, he couldn't get that boozed up with these prices, could he?
To be fair, there was this rumour went round, he just dropped a 50p piece in the river.
That's what it was. He dropped his money in the river.
What you never saw, I had the snorkel there. Actually, my missus, I didn't tell her I'd done it, and if she's watching that today, she's supposed to picking me up tonight when I get to the airport. I'll get a baton, won't I?
No, I think that was a great feat, Saint. I've got to say that was wonderful, and it closes the show beautifully.
What he didn't tell you was he knackered his knee up.
Oh, at the same time. Well, thanks, Big Ron.
I'll tell you what, he might have knackered his knackers up as well. We'll go into that.
Thanks very much for joining us, boys. It's been great. It's been a great 3 weeks. Right, well, there's been not too much for you Englishmen to smile about, Jim, over the last few weeks.
We've not had a great time, but there you go, Saint. The Jocks did well.
They certainly did. Well, they kept us all smiling, didn't they?
They did indeed.
Right, well, taking an early exit, that was England, but it hasn't stopped our old friend Kevin Connolly having a joke at everyone's expense.
Ah, lovely. This is what it's all about. Back in the big time. Back in the big time. Lovely. Hello there. Laurie McMenemy. Lovely to see you. Lovely. My role in the squad? Good question. Lovely. Thanks very much. Do you know, I think I better find Graham and ask him what my role is.
Hello, Graham Taylor. If you'd like me to be happy, I'll be happy. If you want me to be relaxed, then I'll be relaxed. If you'd like me to go home on the plane now, then I'll go home on the plane now.
Now, let's get this order right. Platty wants tagliatelle. Gary Lineker wants the Japanese sushi stuff. And Graham wants Jimmy Hill grilled medium rare.
Well, I was talking to Big Ron Atco in the hotel bar last night, and he said, "Are you sure of the final's in Stockholm?" And I thought to myself, well, maybe it is in Gothenburg. And then I arrived here tonight to find a completely empty stadium, of course. And
well, I got here an hour ago, and I was told to ask for what's his name. The fella on the door said that there's no game on, but you can come in. I went up the steps and I asked for Elton Frisbee, you know, what's his name? And I could see there was nobody on the other side of the ground. And I thought to myself, this is the wrong place. They said 7:15, didn't they?
Well, I don't know. You've got the programme.
Yeah, it was 7:15 yesterday. We've got the wrong day.
Oh, mate. They move a lot like the England national team, Saint. Let's show them how it's done. Twin strike force. Come on. Volley-la-de-la.
Oh, get off, Jim. You've been away from home for too long.
See that little Kevin Connolly, when I get my hands on him, Jim.
I'll have him.
Oh, yes.
We'll have him.
Taking the mickey out of us. Anyway, that's the end of our shows from Sweden. I hope you've all enjoyed them at home, because we've enjoyed them.
It's been great.
It's lovely,
been great.
Lovely. But what about next season?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I had a chat with the boss of ITV Sport, and he said...
Oh, no.
In the immortal words of Norman Tebbit.
Let's do it.
Well, this could be the last time. This could be the last time. Maybe the last time. I don't